Hi guys, Brad McKinnon here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to look at fixing this hole in the ceiling. It's a bathroom and the old ducting system's been removed. They're going to put a new one in a new location, so we're just going to patch this up and I'm going to show you how to do it when you've only got a limited amount of time. And this one here I only had 2 days left to finish it with 3 coats of plaster and a skim. So first of all, I'm going to cut out this hole a bit bigger, and I'm just measuring back there. There's actually a couple of timber battens on either side of that hole, so I'm just measuring back from the edge there. I'm just going to mark where the timbers are, and I know the timber battens are about 40 mil wide, so we're just going to mark the center of those. And then we're sort of going to get our rough estimate for the size of plasterboard we need. I think this one was about 400 by 300. And once we've got our marks on our ceiling, then we can just hold our cut piece of plasterboard up. Now when we're putting the plasterboard up on the ceiling, you just want to mark which way it goes, just in case it's not perfectly square. And then we're going to mark around it once all our sort of marks on the timbers line up, and this way we get a perfect fit every time. A lot easier than cutting out the hole first then trying to get your piece cut to go in there. See right there I'm marking an arrow on that side, so I know it goes that way around, and that piece will fit snugly inside what you're going to cut. So I'm just going to use a standing knife. Of course you can use a multi-tool. Just when you're using a multi-tool, creates a lot of dust, so always good to wear a mask and some goggles. But if you've got a good sharp standing knife, it won't take long to cut it out. It's just a bit harder where the timbers are. You just want to cut through into the timbers. Take any fixings out that are in the way, and that should just pop out once you've got it cut all nicely right round. You can see there we're right in the center of our 2 timbers. Now if there's no timbers anywhere close by, you can cut a timber a bit wider than the hole. Say it's 300 wide, you want to cut it about 400, you can just slot it up in there and screw it in through the plasterboard. You don't have to fix it to any other timber for the hole this size. And just making sure you get all those niggly bits in the corners. You don't want anything to get in the way of your new piece, which could keep it down. You want it perfectly flush. That'll just make the plastering side so much easier. And you can see how snug that is. Absolutely perfect. Now because I've only got limited time to do this, I was halfway through this job when they said they needed this hole fixing because they were changing locations. So I've only got 2 more days left on this job, and normally I'd do 3 coats of plaster and a sand, and leave them to dry overnight, which is sort of 4 days. So I want to do this pretty quick, and what I like to do is actually scrape the paint off around the hole, so your plaster is actually binding to the existing plaster and plasterboard, and it's going to dry a lot faster. So I just scrape off that paint, enough room for the tape and plaster to go, and give it a scuff up and a sand up. It's just going to make the sort of process, help the process speed along a bit more. Also like to put in some fixings on the existing plasterboard, just in case it's hanging down a bit, just so our new piece is going to be nice and flush with the existing as well. Here's a good little tip: pre-screw your screws into your plasterboard, so when you're holding the board up, you're not fiddle around finding screws they're already there, ready to go, and then also make sure that they're on the right ends, so they're going to hit the timber. Nothing worse than getting up and do around the wrong way. So that's a great little tip, isn't it? Getting those screws already in, ready to go. Then all you got to do is hold it with one hand and screw in the screws with the other hand. Piece of cake. That's all we need. 3 screws on each side. And we're ready for a bit of plaster. I'm just using of course you can use your setting compounds to help speed things along, but I like to use an air drying compound where we're going onto paint. I just find it sticks a lot better because it's glue based rather than gypsum based. And I like to do my opposites at the same time. Get the plaster on there and then get your tape on. I'm just using a fibre fuse tape. Tape's going on the centre of the joint. And just doing 2 at a time. Tape goes on and we'll just press that tape into the plaster. We can do our other 2 at the same time. Now, I don't overlap the tape. I just run the tape up to the edge of the tape that's already there. Don't want to create any lips or bumps. Want everything as flush as possible. Just makes life so much easier. The more time you spend getting your plasterboard patch right, just makes the plastering side so much easier. Well, I've got the tape in and I'm going to give it a good fill over because it's the end of the day. And it's going to have all night to dry, so I'm going to put a nice thick filler coat on, get it really filled over that tape so it can dry overnight. You can see there how the plaster's going onto the paint, so again that's why I like to use the air drying multi-purpose compound, because it's glue based. It's got a glue in there that sticks to paint, and we'll just get a nice layer on there, making sure we're covering all the tape. Once we've got a good bit on there, we're just going to do one big nice clean swipe just to get it all nice. Then we can just clean up the edges, again keeping everything nice as we go. And we'll let that dry. That'll dry overnight. We'll be back the next day. So the next day is my last day, so we're going to get on 3 coats on the final day. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So here we go, we're back. We're going to give that a nice scrape. Any lips that's on there where you lift it off with your trowel, give that a scrape back. Any sort of high bits, scrape it right back. And now if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know when you're putting your second coat over a patch where you've gone over paint, you're going to get air bubbles. So what I like to do is put a nice tight coat on. This is the morning of the next day, so I'm going to put a nice tight coat on, just using my 6-inch knife. I'm just going to go round over the tape again. And this is going to be our sort of a cheat second coat. just to get it a bit flusher before we do our next couple of coats. If you do a thick coat now over paint, you're going to get lots of air bubbles, so that's why I'm doing a real sort of thin, tight coat, just to avoid getting those air bubbles. And we're just going to let that dry. That's going to dry pretty quick now because our first coat was dry, so that'll suck in. So you can see there that's been a few hours, it's nice and dry. And I'm just going to hit it again with another tight skim. This is another little trick, because my next coat is going to be a nice thick skim coat. So again, if we're doing a thick coat over a patch which is on paint, you're going to get air bubbles unless you do this trick here. This is the key, the trade secret. Doing a quick patch is putting that thin tight coat on and leaving it for about 2 or 3 minutes. It won't be fully dry, it'll be touch dry. So you can see there, it's touch dry, it's not fully dry. Now I can hit it with my trowel and do a nice thick skim coat over the whole patch, and we won't get any air bubbles. So that's a good little trick there. If you want to see more on why you get air bubbles over paint, I'll link another video in the description for you to watch. Here I'm just using my 14-inch trowel. I'm just going to go, you noticed my previous tight coat was across the other way, the opposite way, so I'm going to go the opposite way with my final trowel skim coat, just to fill any hollows. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you enjoy these videos, there's plenty more to check out and there's plenty more to come in the future. So we've got our nice final coat on. So tomorrow's my last day, sanding day. So I've managed to do a full patch with 4 coats of plaster in those last couple of days. Just clean off the edges. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed that one. Good few tips in there for you. Remember to hit the like button, comment below if you enjoyed it. Any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll just give you a quick up close of this one just to see how flat and how good it's come up. And I'll get a quick sand tomorrow, done and dusted. Beautiful.